Whoa, 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 whoa. So much has happened. Let me catch you up. Where am I? I looked around, but I couldn't recognize this place at all. All of my items from the last 100 days are gone, and I only have 3 hearts. I got some food and met a very hurt iron golem.
Oh, you are not looking good, buddy. Are you okay?
I cut down a tree, got some tools, and decided to look around. There was a temple in the village, and inside I found a bunch of really cool stuff.
Whoa, hello? Hello?
Including some artifacts and powerful weapons that, to be honest, I had no clue how they worked. There was what would you call this? A fort? A base? Anyway, they looked very mean, and I didn't really think that starting a war with the Romans would go too well.
On second thought,
my best bet here is to go caving. With only 3 hearts, however, anything can kill me.
Oh, okay, so this is how I actually level up.
All was going really well until I found this guy who looked like he wanted to skewer me.
Ah, he's so much stronger than me. What did he just do?
Look, it's day 1, I don't really want to become a kebab. On the second day, I started by finding one of these towers with a bunch of butts in them. These were also in my last 100 days and gave me the idea to go check if my house was still standing.
Oh my god, it's still here. My house. Wait. What happened to it?
I was shot. It was there, but it was in awful condition. It looked like hundreds of years had passed with everything deteriorating. This was so bizarre. So much time has passed. I needed to check if my pet Jelly and Rainbow were still there, and sadly, no.
Oh my god, what happened? Jelly? No.
I found Jelly's bones right where I last saw him.
My waystone is still here. I need to go check on Rainbow. How long have I been gone?
I headed downstairs to Rainbow's water fountain and again,
No.
only bones. That's when my heart stopped.
What happened?
I found a note that said always watching, and then
I need your help. Please find the villager Janae. They have a stone of levitation which will point you to my castle. There, I can explain what has happened. But please be careful. You're not safe here.
okay, I normally don't take advice from voices in the sky, but sure. I knew that my immediate priority was getting stronger. All I wanted this time around was a couple levels so I could get more health.
Oh my god. What are you?
This little homie gave me a mini heart attack,
No!
but his low prices and great deals made me forgive him pretty quickly.
Yo, what a homie!
On day 4, I was feeling slightly more confident. I set out to find Janae.
Janae? Hello. I need to trade some paper, I guess. Then they'll tell me.
I found another book tower, and inside I found a radial diamond pickaxe.
Yo.
This is going to be my pickaxe for the rest of the 100 days. That's insane. Days 5 to 8 were all about getting emeralds so I could trade. I actually found a Fletcher that offered the best emerald deals in the village and began cutting down trees to get stits. I used the stits to get the emeralds, and I used the emeralds to trade maps with Janae. Finally, Janae trusted me enough to take me aside and show me what he was hiding.
There it is.
That stone is worth a fortune, and I needed way more emeralds before I could even get it. However, I wanted a break. In the caves, I kept finding these weird growths on the stone, and weirdly enough, they seemed to react to whenever I got close. I didn't pay much attention to it though. After all, a lot's changed since I was last here. Everything was fine until all of a sudden I turned a corner and ran into a cave bear.
Holy sh...
Luckily, I was able to run away and block it off while being on literally one hit.
Oh.
I barely escaped and I needed to be careful down here. I heard groans coming from a nearby area in the cave. It was pitch black. However, in the far corner, I could see the outlines of a figure, hidden and waiting. I had to get out of the cave. Whatever that thing was, it was after me. I ran to the surface, hoping it wouldn't follow me, and when I turned back, it seemed to have left. I don't know why, but something told me that this wasn't the last time I was going to see that thing. I need answers, and right now, the only lead I have was Janae. I kept farming sand, turning it into glass panes, and trading with Janae. Then finally, after another day of farming sand,
There it is.
I had enough emeralds to trade. I finally had the stone, and when I held it, my body felt light and a weird line of clouds began pulling me in a direction. I explored new biomes, I found structures, some inhabited, most deserted, all the while wondering what had happened. This world seemed both so familiar and different. 3 days later, 10,000 blots away, I found what it was pulling me to.
There it is. We found it.
The biggest island I have ever seen. I cut down some trees and began building up to the island. And oh my god, this is unbelievable. I used a spell that I found in Janae's temple on like the first day, and I was able to fly over to the castle.
Okay, here we go. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're here.
I climbed some trees and eventually I made it to the main ground floor.
Welcome. It has been a long time since I last saw you. My name is Divinity. I'm the guardian of this dimension.
Where am I? What's happened?
You're in the same world, just hundreds of years since last time. There are no more dragons, no more mutants, and no more legends. In your previous journey, do you remember killing something called the Wither? By killing it, you awoke an evil entity, and since then, it has been taking over this world.
Can I stop it?
Maybe. First, head to the Nether and find the Nether Keeper. Defeating him will give you access to new powerful items. Then, find the end portal and go kill the last dragon. That dimension has incredibly strong materials that you will need for your final fight. Finally, enter into the dark dimension and defeat Broker. Its death will weaken the entity enough for you to have a chance. But please, be careful. The world is more dangerous than ever. Your Enderpearl sword broke many years ago. However, the essence has been captured and placed in this amulet. Hopefully it will prove useful.
Okay, I have some goals now, and now my goal is exploring and getting better gear. I found a huge tower, like something out of a Zelda game, and when I reached the top, I found a waystone and a paraglider, and honestly, I love this.
Yo!
Casually gliding around, something about it was just gorgeous. I also found one of these big obsidian boys, and I was super excited because I thought I saw a block of netherite on the top.
Oh, I got scammed. It's a block of iron. Oh, never mind.
Nighttime hit, and I found some nightmare fuel.
Oh, Jesus, what are you? Uh-oh. He is fast. Oh.
Truly the stuff of nightmares. Over the next few days, my goal was just to explore, so I found more wizard towers, more villages. There was a huge structure with pillagers everywhere.
Holy hell.
And after spending literally half a day thinning them out, I found their goodie stash. And holy,
oh my god, what?
a ton of food, totems, and just about every type of arrow you can think of. None of them useful. Small mistake. I may have started a raid accidentally.
A raid? What? I'm not ready for a raid? Are you kidding me?
And when I tried my best to help the villagers, yet no, there is no way I can help fight that. I realized that one of the crossbows I got along the way, probably from one of the pillagers I would guess, gave me a massive speed buff whenever I held it. Look how fast I go. As I was in around, I found this weird tomb entrance. It was just sticking out of the ground, and even though I knew I shouldn't go caving, I love a good tomb. I found a Fire Spet 3 book, and that was honestly convincing enough to make me stay down here. The rest of the chest gave me some food and other enchanted books that, to be honest, I really didn't have a clue what they did. And then, whoa, a massive wooden tower just on the edge of my render distance.
I'm scared.
Some of the enemies in here were scary, and I got hit so much my armor ended up close to breaking. I had a couple flashbacks to the last 100 days where I got swarmed and my computer was destroyed by silverfish, but apart from that, I gradually climbed the tower. I reached the top, only to find the king, a powerful mini-boss. I was slowly able to kill him through perfectly legitimate strategies.
Okay. What the hell is going on?
And I left the tower to spend the night organizing my loot, making a really cool pickaxe and planning out my next goal. Time is moving quickly. I found one of these statues that traded spirit orbs that you get from spawners for heart containers. Then I decided to try caving one last time. I found this really cool modded mineshaft, and in a chest I found a bat wing.
Oh no. Not falling for that again.
I decided to mine the obsidian while I was here. Super satisfying, by the way. Insta mining obsidian is mwah. Suddenly, I entered a part of the cave where these growths were just everywhere. I slowed right down. Had a feeling that this is what Divinity was talking about. The cave opened into a giant cavern. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Shrouded in darkness. I ran as fast as I could, immediately building up and trying to escape the cave. I've learnt my lesson. The caves are not safe. After that encounter, I decided it was time to just run around. I actually found this nether house that piglins were spawning in, which this is the only one I found the entire time, so I guess this was super rare. I decided now that this was time to make some strong weapons. I used this power sits book that I got to make an insane bow. And I also did some research and upgraded my backpack to the next tier. I was running around minding my business when I ran through a village and started another raid.
Oh no.
Okay, this time round though, I want to actually fight it. I want to save this village. Raids are very different in this mod pack. The main difference is all of the different types of villages. Some spawn creepers, some buff the others' speed, some buff the others' strength. It's a mess. Wave 4 is when it started getting tough. There was so much going on that I had to target specific ones first. But then I would just get walled off and slowed and stunned and blinded, and holy hell, how much more is there going to be? Can I play the game, please?
Oh god. Oh my god.
I know this isn't fair. I end up putting a limit on myself, but only using 2 more totems for the rest of the 100 days. So I spent 2 days fighting this raid, breaking all my armor, using all my resources. I had gone through 3 swords. On the final wave, the final enemy just wandered off and despawned the raid.
Seriously? The raid just ended with 1 person left? Are you fucking kidding me?
So you know what I got from all this? Nothing. I just died and broke all my gear. Pog. That raid really stripped me of everything I had worked towards. Screw it. Now's the time. I'm going to make my final preparations to go to the Nether. I got to my old home and enchanted a book for infinity. This was so needed. And just like that, it was time. I built the portal and I entered into the Nether. Ah, panic, immediate chaos.
Whoa, what the hell?
I walked to the portal to find another small trader homie. This time, it was a spicy version.
Well, hello.
I noticed that literally 100 blocks away from my portal, there was a giant city where the Nether Keeper lived. I am absolutely not prepared for this. I need to just leave and get stronger. Maybe I can come back when pids start flying.
They have elytras?
Oh. Okay, I'm going to take that as a sign. I guess it's boss time. These guards were so scary. They took multiple hits, they did massive damage, and they could just swarm me if they wanted because they could fly.
You dropped a netherite sword.
The castle was a maze though, and while I figured I just needed to head to the highest point because, you know, cliches and all that, that was easier said than done. There were booby traps.
Cool. Oh.
Alchemist piglins that just had non-stop throwables. I had a couple close calls. One time I got poisoned, slowed, and given weakness while falling into a horde of piglins. I made it out on 3 hearts, poisoned, but then my totem popped. Huh?
What? How did I just die?
I swear it has only ever taken you down to half a heart. But, I mean, maybe I don't actually know how to play this game. Let me know in the comments. Finally, I found a room in which the Keeper lived.
Oh my god, that's him right there. Hey, can you get away from the ladder maybe?
He is incredibly slow, but he can probably 2-shot me right now. I just kept circling the pillar, hitting him, backing off so he couldn't actually hit me.
Oh, you hurt though. Oh, you shred. Really?
And he dropped the ancient fire, which I could use to make a really powerful new weapon. I decided to climb the staircase that he was guarding, and I found a blaze spawner as well as multiple gold blocks. I stayed here for a little bit, getting all the rods I would need and taking a breather to figure out what I needed to do next. I got out of the city, but still felt like there was more I could do in the nether. The main thing I wanted was netherite. There was a ton of new upgraded netherite armors I learned about while doing some research, and I actually ended up lucking out and I found a nether mineshaft at Y6.
Oh.
Sadly though, while running through this mineshaft, I only found a couple of ancient debris. In a soul sand valley, I found this old brick dungeon.
What is this?
It was just littered with really cool traps. There are also some mutated skeletons, some armored blaze,
Ow.
and a weird spawner in this middle room that I just couldn't activate for some reason. There was also some new ores sticking out. This was called tungsten, and it was actually pretty strong. It was about the same strength as netherite, and because that didn't work out for me, this was the new plan. I've been in the nether for about a week now, and my supplies are running really low. Today was all about doing some research and trying to upgrade my gear. I made some new tungsten armor from the armored blaze strap and the tungsten ore I got. Here's where I made a massive mistake though. I enchanted my pickaxe with a life mending enchant. Sounds great. However, the tool was so damaged that for the next 60 days, I won't be able to take this pick out without hurting myself. Any book that didn't tell me what the enchantment did, I just threw out. Levels were not easy to get. I couldn't afford to just drop 30 levels on a random enchant for the lols. Feel free to call me a dumbass in the comments for throwing out the best enchant in the game. At this point, honestly, I wanted somewhere to call home. My old house was just too destroyed, and it felt like I just need to move on from those memories. This place was actually quite nice, the only issue being the giant hole in the floor that led to certain death. I mean, I guess the village still has most of its small infants, so can't be too bad. While exploring, I actually ended up finding a structure that looked scarily similar to my previous house. The best part was that this house came with new pets.
Hey buddies, what's up?
As well as a rhino that I named Pointy.
Hey, it's a rhino? What's up, buddy?
I found a nearby village, stole their waystone, and brought it back to my house. It was a little bit run down, so I spent the night cleaning up all the moss and cobwebs. I went to my old house to get my enchantment table and anvil, but while I was there, I had a weird vision. I think that was a memory of mine. I need to get home. I think it's about time we progress with the goals. I used the ancient fire the Nether Keeper dropped and made the Nether Hammer. This big boy deals 14 damage but is very slow. The next 5 days I spent in the Nether. My goal was to find a bastion so I could just trade with the piglins there. I did find this weird nether ship that had some cool stuff. Eventually I found a bastion. Apparently piglin have a max amount of trades. Eventually they just stop giving you items. They just take the gold for themselves. I am almost positive these piglins started with no gold, but when they were done trading with me, they were just dripped out. It's nice to know that I'm getting scammed right in front of me. Also, Protection 7 book. What? But eventually I got lucky and one of the piglin groups were nice to me. Finally, I was able to leave. Ooh, I found something really neat. This giant house with soldiers everywhere, you know, the Romans, turns out they're protecting something pretty cool. The dungeon underneath, however, just a casual 10 blocks of diamond.
Nice try.
What, did a bunch of high pixel UHC players get together and make these? Come on guys. I did also upgrade my armor, making what few pieces of netherite I could, including some Divinity boots. I wonder if these are named after Divinity or if it's just a weird coincidence. I'm not sure. It bothered me that my armor was mismatched, so I went back into the nether yet again trying to find netherite. Another little homie found me and offered me an insane trade. I made the trade, and for the next couple of days I stayed in the nether searching for netherite. What is my curse though? For some reason I just cannot find any. Screw it, we're going back. The next day, I got snapped back to what was important. I found a tent near my house, and it looked like someone had camped there at some point. Inside, I found another creepy note. I took this as a sign that I needed to continue my quest. It was finally time to go to the end. I made my Eyes of Ender, I threw my first one, and I followed it for a few hundred blocks.
Aww, you're adorable.
I located the Stronghold chunk pretty easily. However, this stronghold was different and massive. It was a maze down there. Every corner looked the same. Every corridor looked just like the last. I'm gonna be real with you. I got so lost here. I explored for literal days. I tried lighting my way with torches. I blocked off the exits. No matter what, I couldn't find the portal. 2 days of being stuck in this stronghold, I finally found the room.
Oh my god, finally.
Turns out it was down a corridor that I had blocked off almost an hour ago. Nice one, Zane. And then finally, I jumped into the portal. As soon as I arrived in the end, I found a destroyed ship lodged into the island.
Whoa, what the?
This dragon was stronger than any other I had fought before. It was specifically modified to have more health and deal more damage.
Ow.
The preparations I had done were honestly a lifesaver here. My bow chunked its health, and whenever it landed, my sword ripped through it. I shredded the dragon very quickly down to a single hit. I took out my nether hammer and I smashed it, finishing it off with one powerful hit.
Ow.
The gateway appeared and I pearled through, ready to explore. I was in the end from days 55 to 70. This new end was both gorgeous and very scary. The aim here is to find an end city. I need to travel potentially thousands and thousands of blocks just to find one. At any moment, while bridging over the void, I could just fall off and die. Journey over.
It's good to know that even in an unknown dimension, there's still alligators.
After ages, I finally found an island that had one of the new dungeons on it. It was a giant pink tower that inside gave me some new types of weapons.
Oh,
There wasn't any of the new materials I was looking for in here, but let me tell you, this one had so much more stuff, especially this orb of flight. I could activate it and literally just fly for 5 minutes. I saw a city far in my render distance.
finally.
There's chests in every tower, and then at the end of that, there's an end ship.
Haha, what?
Finally, I had my elytra and I got some of the new materials I was wanting. With how many I found though, I wasn't going to be able to make a full set. Now, it's time for the hard part of getting home. There's these weird portals around the place that I could activate. However, I didn't realize I needed end crystals for the ritual. I don't have the materials to craft them, so the only option I have is to explore more end cities. While I spent an hour or two looking for more cities, I quickly remembered I have an orb of flight. I could just fly back to my original portal. Just the biggest brain fart moment, man. There's like 5 days gone. Oh. A lot has happened and there isn't really that much time left now. For some reason, when I got back to the overworld though, it just destroyed my health. I only had a quarter of what I had previously. See, I tried to upgrade my health and get it back to normal, but when I did, it put me past the normal limit. So I now had 37 hearts. Whack. It was time for an upgrade. I made my first new powerful weapon, an Ethereum broadsword. I was able to remove the sharpness 6 from my other sword and upgrade it to sharpness 7 with a sharpness upgrading book. Look at this monster. The next thing I wanted to do was use some of the dragon scales and made some Draco Arcanus armor. It required obsidian and dragon scales, which was the rare end material I was looking for. Also went and said hello to Pointy, who was still A-OK by the way.
Hey, buddy.
Day 72, I think it's about time I introduce you to a new friend of mine. I met a goat and honestly, I fell in love.
I'm gonna name you Wilbur.
And I did my best to yoink him into my house.
We good? We good. Okay. Wasn't exactly what I thought, but I'll take it.
I found a name tag and I rushed home to my new friend. When I arrived though, the house was silent.
What are you... Did a Viking just come in and kill my f***ing goat?
In the time it took for me to find a name tag, a Viking had broken in and murdered my friend. This was unacceptable, and I spent the next day making it my mission to kill all of the nearby Vikings. Once my massacre was finished, I tried finding another Wilbur. Sadly, I spent the entire day searching and found nothing. This was until the next day where, waiting inside, I heard a very apparent blah. I looked all around my house for the sound until blending in with the snow was just a goat. I climbed up and got him safely inside and decided to call my new friend Wilbur too. Then I realized exactly what all of you are commenting right now. You think that I just named this goat after Wilbur's soup, didn't you? Screw it. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't what I was naming it after, but I might as well lean into it now. I changed it from Wilbur 2 to Wilbur Toot, sort of merging the two. You see what I did there? Honestly, the next few days were pretty chill. I knew that pretty soon I was going into the dark dimension, and I didn't know if I was going to be coming back. It was nice just running around, honestly. I found more villages, some small dungeons, a lot of cute animals.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that I love you. Have a diamond.
A few thousand blocks away, I found the biggest dungeon I've ever seen. This was just an absolute massive tower split into floating buildings with giant towers holding up countless other bridges. I built up and I broke into a side tower, and it took me the entire day going around breaking every spawner. The good news is I got a ton of levels from this. I was trying to head home, but I wanted to find a village so I could just teleport home. On my way searching for a village, I found this weird glowing plant. As soon as I went near this plant, I remembered something.
I found him like you wanted.
Why do I keep seeing these events? Apparently this is from the dark dimension, and it may hold the key to getting into that world. There, I could finally face Roka head on. I collected all the plants I could. I ended up getting a stack of them, and I also found my waystone home. Meaning that now, we're in the endgame. I stocked up on my food, I made the last of my Draco armor. I needed a ton of obsidian to get the rest of my armor, as well as to make the new portal. It was only fitting that I built this new portal at my old house. Something felt right about ending this journey where we started it. I lit the portal, and I took my first step into the dark dimension. I immediately felt weaker, like my life was just drained. I looked at my health and I had lost over half of what I had. Just from entering, all of my levels were gone, all of my strength, all of my speed, all of my protection. Everything I worked towards was reset. Because I hadn't prepared for that, there was nothing I could do about it. This world was really, really dark, and there were monsters literally everywhere. No, seriously, what's a crystal golem and why are there 40 of them?
Oh my god. Oh my god, come on.
You may also notice that my players started moaning whenever I take damage. Please ignore that. I don't know why. There were also some random humans around the place, and each of them wanted a specific item. In return, they would give me a reward, and I definitely felt like I needed to complete all these quests. I explored this world for a few days, but I got completely lost. After wandering for a while though, I saw a Roka boss bar appear, and I eventually found him in a tree. This is only a mini boss version of the Roka, and I wanted to fight it to test its strength. Instantly, I was killed. The Roka one-shot me, and just like that, I had used my final totem. This is what panic looks like. I knew that I had no chance of beating him, and so the only thing I could do was run. If this is what one mini-boss Roka could do to me, imagine what the final one can. Right, okay, who's ready for another training arc then? I did some research, and this world has some incredibly powerful weapons. The only issue is the gear in this world seems very, very grindy. Time to go caving. I'm going to sum this up really quick for you. The caves are really, honestly, quite cool. There are so many new ores though, it is really difficult to tell them apart and know what's good, what's not. I spent a few days underground, and honestly, the majority of it was just strip mining again. Not interesting, but I did get a decent amount of every ore, meaning that now I could go back up to the surface and turn in some of those quests as well. One of the NPCs actually told me about a second sub-dimension that existed that could be used to make an uber tier weapon. It took me a long time, but eventually I found the portal underground in a snow-covered room. This world was honestly very, very barren. By the way, nothing is more terrifying than fighting a mob and looking at its name only to notice that it says endgame. Yeah, I should not be fighting these guys right now. It's not like I need a small amount of this stuff either. I need dozens and dozens and dozens of these knights for the materials. So, oh boy, looks like I'm going to be here a while. I also made some new armor. After a couple days of doing this, I had all of the materials needed to make the knight sword. It It's a 19 base damage sword with 5 attack speed. There's 2 other items I want to make, the Ring of Judger and a regeneration ring. My gear right now is really not good compared to what else I could get. But if I use the regen and the resistance, maybe, just maybe, I can survive the final roacher. I went around turning in all my quests. I also collected roacher horns from the baby roaches, as these were the key to summoning the final boss. I also need these unknown pages that can be found. The entire world has a color scheme of black and neon blue, right? Meaning that searching for a specific pillar that is black and neon blue is fucking hard. I spent literal days trying to find these. God, these are hard to find. Finally, on day 96, I found the last monolith. I now had all the pages needed to craft the boss summoning eye. This was what it's all been building towards. It's now time to fight the final roacher. With the final preparations made, I found a clear area where I could summon the boss. However, when I did summon him...
Oh, what? Boys, what's up?
All of the NPCs I did quests for appeared as well, but this was my fight. I left them to find an area where I could challenge the roacher myself.
How did you escape?
We stared each other down, and then we ran at each other. We traded hits. The resistance completely nullified the roach's attacks. The roach's minions made it very hard to get a single fight, and I was just being swarmed, my armor breaking bit by bit. However, eventually my shield broke. And not long after, my chest broke as well.
Oh god, my armor.
The roacher had a sliver of health left. And using the tactic I used on the Nether Keeper, I strafed around a pillar, trading hits with the roacher until finally... With 1 heart left, I dealt the final blow. And the entity's right-hand man was dead. I took the new weapon he dropped me and entered into this strange portal. I was just floating in the void. Eventually I made my way to the bottom, and by following the soulfish that lived here, I was able to find my way home. I made it back to my house and immediately put some old armor on. Tonight, I rested, because tomorrow it was time to do something I had been putting off. I went back to my old destroyed house. With the journey over, there was one last thing I needed to do. I went to the spot where Jelly and Rainbow had died, removing their bones, and then out of the front of the house, I began making a grave for my old pets. It wasn't anything special, but now that the horrors of this world are gone, it felt fitting. I could finally say goodbye. On day 98, I realized I had completely forgotten to tell Divinity what had happened, and so I went to her island. But when I arrived...
Whoa, what? Divinity's just gone, and these growths are just everywhere now. What happened?
Something is very wrong. I need to get home right now.
No. What? Here too?